Welcome in everybody to Fantasy Pros. It is me, Joe Pisapia. This is the live stream right here on YouTube. And yes, I am wearing a tie because it's Sunday and we get all fancy around here. But we've got a great live stream for you. And of course, you can only be part of it if you are a subscriber. So if you want your questions answered, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel at Fantasy Pros and click that little notifications bell. It's very easy. So if you see all these questions coming in and you want to be like the cool kids and get your questions into me, Joey P., that's the way to do it. So subscribe to Fantasy Pros YouTube channel and then click that notifications button so we can all hang out together as part of the family, taking questions, talking fantasy. Before I get to some of your questions too, just a little bit of housekeeping at the top. For those of you who may not know yet, looks like Austin Ekeler is going to play, be a full go. That is good. Congratulations. There's Chase Young, Montez Sweat, an incredible defense, but still, if you've got Ekeler, you got to start Ekeler. That's why you drafted him so highly in the first place. So go ahead and get that in your lineup right now. Go get Austin Ekeler in there for better or worse. That's your dude. That's why you drafted him with big-time draft capital. Saquon Barkley, another big running back we've been talking about quite a bit. Saquon Barkley is in a situation right now where he is limited, but he's going to play. We know with the Thursday upcoming game, this was always going to be the scenario. The question is, does he get quality touches, and are those touches fantasy worthy? I think what you do is you look at the rest of your lineup, and you ask yourself that question, do I have enough right now that I can live with a Saquon 10 points, 8 points? That's the low end. The high end is more potentially if he gets that touchdown. But if your answer is no, then start looking elsewhere, especially in PPR formats where you might be able to exploit a matchup. And then also let us remember about Odell Beckham, who is now a game time decision. I'm looking for options right now. If you have an option, the 1 o'clock game that you like, if it's a Jalen Waddle, for instance, or even if you have one of those guys like Marvin Jones or Laviska Shenault you're unsure about, I would start any of those guys over Odell Beckham, because even if he plays, he's not really healthy. If you're a game time decision, that is a problem. So right now for me, if I've got better options, I'm looking to put Odell out to pasture on my bench and look for somebody else. So if you got your questions, you can go ahead and drop them here in the chat. But once again, you can only do that if you are a subscriber. Let's start here with Giancarlo Munoz. Wants to know, full PPR flex, Laviska Shenault, Corey Davis, Javonte Williams, or Mike Williams. To me, it's about Davis and Shenault. Those are the two guys that I'm looking at, as you are. I think Corey Davis has a very safe floor. So your lineup right now, if you're a pretty good team, you really like your chances, let's say you had a good Thursday night, full PPR, I think Corey Davis is a safe, 10 points, somewhere in that range, maybe 12. If he gets a touchdown, great, that pushes it to 18. But you got to play like he's probably a 12-point guy somewhere in that range. Shenault has the upside for more, but I think the floor for something similar. So if I need a little bit more boom, I'm going to take the matchup with Shenault, and instead I'm going to let Corey Davis sit on the bench. But if I like my team, I just want to get points, Corey Davis is the way that I would go. Let's go next to Luke Anthony. Luke wants to know, Josh Jacobs or Devontae Smith in flex PPR. This is a tough one here. I know why you're asking me. I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to roll the dice with the kid against the Falcons. I don't love that Falcons defense. I think Devontae Smith is a phenomenal talent. He creates separation. That is always a good thing. Tremendous route runner. I know we haven't seen it yet with the kid, but I think with that format in the PPR, I play the total of this game because I think the total is going to be higher than people realize. I really like the over in this game today. So I'm going to go ahead and play that with Devontae Smith. Josh Jacobs, it's not a bad play. It's just I think I want a little bit more boom there on the flex spot if I have it. It does come down to what other running backs you have, so keep that in mind also. But for me right now, I think I lean with Devontae Smith. I take the upside. I take the total. I take the receiver in the PPR because Jacobs really has to get that touchdown. That Baltimore defense, very good. We'll see if the defense steps up there in the the vacuum that's been created with the running back situation there on the offensive side of the football. Let's continue on here. We've got a question here from Noah Williams. Jonathan Taylor or DeAndre Swift full PPR? Give me Taylor. Swift is not 100%. Just because you're playing doesn't mean you're 100%. I think Jonathan Taylor is going to have to be leaned on heavily. And Jonathan Taylor is a first-round pick. Okay, late round first-round pick, but still a first-round pick. DeAndre Swift did not have that grade. DeAndre Swift is going up against the 49ers defense that I think has been revamped in a good way this offseason. I have my concerns, absolutely, about the Colts. I have my concerns about Quentin Nelson's health, about Carson Wentz's health, about Carson Wentz with a lot of these other wide receivers in terms of timing. But for me personally, I would still go with Jonathan Taylor. I still like the upside. I like the floor. With Swift being from behind here in this game too, one would imagine that is a difficult game script. I'm just going to fade away from Detroit. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I will live with it, but give me Jonathan Taylor. That's the way I'm going. Let's go to LA Angels, Chicago Bulls. Barkley or Chris Carson? Look, we're not comparing talents here. We're comparing matchups. So once again, this goes back to that same question we asked ourselves before. Can we live with 8 points, 10 points from Saquon Barkley this week? That's the thing you have to ask yourself, because that is a distinct possibility. Not every week, but in this week in particular, it is. Denver also defensively, I think, better than people give them credit for. I'm going to go ahead and go with Chris Carson here. I know this is a good matchup in terms of a tough one where you're looking at Indianapolis Colts defense that's very good. I get that. But at the same time, Chris Carson showed you can catch a football. Chris Carson brings huge touchdown equity, and he's going to give you a greater volume in theory. I'm going to go with the volume. I'm going to go with the guy that right now is healthy going in. Give me Chris Carson over Barkley. That's a good problem to have. If Barkley goes off, great. Then you feel really good about Barkley in week 2, and then you kind of take a deep breath. And I think everybody's a little worried about Barkley this week, but not everybody has good options. You know, replacing Barkley with Tyson Williams, that's a no-sell for me. And I might be wrong. Tyson Williams might absolutely be a guy who goes off and has 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's fine. That's fair. But we don't know that. He could also be, 60 yards potentially. And that's not going to get you too much. We don't know what he's going to look like in the passing game if he factors into the passing game. But a guy like Chris Carson, you know what he is. He's a 3-down back. Chris Carson can catch the football. Chris Carson can score touchdowns. Give me Chris Carson. Let's go. Here we go. The question on everybody's mind, Wesley wants to know about Tyson Williams. All right, here we go. Tyson Williams has a range of outcomes. He could be this year's James Robinson. He could be the Phillip Lindsay of a couple years ago. That undrafted free agent running back with something to prove, that all of a sudden the seas depart, right? All of a sudden they part, and now you've got Tyson Williams with a clear path. And the only thing nipping at his heels is a bunch of older running backs who have been cut already from other teams. Typically speaking, they've been cut for a reason. The tread on the tires. The guys that you're a little worried about in terms of their ability to sustain. And that's a real thing. That's something I think we all have to sit and really contemplate. And how good can Latavius Murray be in this offense? How good can Le'Veon Bell be in this offense? Devontae Freeman. These are all retreads now, okay? With several different teams, some of them. So for me, I would rather give that young kid a shot who looked pretty good in the preseason. The question is, do I want to give him a shot in my lineup week 1? And I think that comes down to a little bit of desperation. If you absolutely need to start him, I think you roll the dice and you hope for the best against Las Vegas. And I think you might be pleasantly surprised. Something in the middle of those range of outcomes, when I talked about Tyson Williams, was something more like, well, you got an opportunity here where maybe you only get 60 yards or 70 yards or something like that, but the upside is 100-something with maybe a touchdown in there against the Las Vegas Raiders. But if you get something in the middle, if you get 80 yards today on the ground and a touchdown, that's a really good potential RB2. That's kind of what you were hoping Gus Edwards could be. So Tyson Williams is a player that I absolutely want on my roster. He's actually a player that I drafted on my roster for weeks now. And when a lot of my league mates went to a lot of those leagues looking for Tyson Williams, he was already on my team because typically speaking, I already knew that the depth chart was getting thin, so I just wanted to get a piece of that backfield, and I liked what I saw in preseason. Tyson Williams looked pretty good. But once again, it's not about how the guy looks, it's about how a guy gets used, and hopefully he looks good enough that that usage looks good. Here's the worst case scenario when it comes to Tyson Williams. You have him on your bench, and he performs really well. Okay. Well, there's a good chance then that he has a first crack at those first early touches next week, and that's a good thing. And then you have a piece. Or maybe you have a trade chip now that you can deal to that Gus Edwards person who had him in that league, who rostered him there. And all of a sudden there becomes equity for you in that. So there's no downside except maybe you take a loss week 1 because you had a good asset on the bench. You have to be willing to live with that when it comes to Tyson Williams. So there you go. There's the Joey P monologue when it comes to Tyson Williams. I hope you enjoyed it. You can check out my off-Broadway work later on in the season. We'll see how that goes coming back this fall. All right, let's get to some more of your questions. And once again, you can only ask the questions if indeed you are a subscriber to Fantasy Pros. So if you want to get your question in, subscribe to Fantasy Pros YouTube. Click that notifications bell. Standard scoring from Roberto. Standard scoring question. Swift, Ayuk, or Allen Robinson for the flex. This is a tricky one here because typically I like to go in standard with the running backs, but I'm a little hesitant. I'm going to play the best matchup here, and it's Ayuk. So give me Brandon Ayuk, who looked so good in the second half last year. I will take Ayuk. I love Allen Robinson, the player, but in a flex spot, if you don't have to, obviously it's a more shallow league with this kind of talent, would be my guess anyway. So you need every point you can get. Give me Ayuk. I think that's what I want to do. All right, let's go to the next one here. Let's see where we're at. And it's Matthew Johnson. Start one, full PPR. Marvin Jones, Marquez Callaway, or Jalen Waddle. I want to start them all. What are you doing to me? You're killing me, Smalls. This is a tough one. In the full PPR, I think Callaway as the one wide receiver here really has the most to offer. I got to imagine still a difficult potential matchup here. You still got to put some faith in Jameis Winston, but the game script would certainly led me to believe that Callaway would be that guy with the upside. If I want just a little bit more floor, I'm actually very comfortable with Jalen Waddle, especially with Stephon Gilmore being out. So with Gilmore out for this game, Waddle's the floor play. Callaway is the guy that if I need a little bit more points in my lineup. And then there's Marvin Jones, who's kind of like in between, but Marvin Jones to me is going to be a little bit more touchdown dependent than the other two. So in the full PPR, Marvin Jones would be the third choice. Callaway for a little upside, Waddle for the floor. That's how I break it down. All right, let's go to the next one here. PPR format, Damian Harris or Marvin Jones. I'm going to go with the running back here. Give me the touches of Damian Harris. I understand. I get it. Marvin Jones could have a really big day here, but I think I want that floor of the points. I think Damian Harris in that Patriots offense looks a little different with Mac Jones than he would with Cam Newton. I think there's some more touchdown equity here. I think that's a good thing. So week one, Damian Harris is healthy right now. That's a good thing. All those reasons give me Damian Harris here. Now, I will say this. If you're already playing from behind this week, let's say you were playing against Antonio Brown and Dak or something like that, or CeeDee Lamb, and you already need a little bit more extra, that's when I would pivot away and I would go with Marvin Jones instead, because Marvin Jones can give you a game where you have multiple touchdowns. That's something that he offers, so look for that there. Next on this list, Mark Gardner. Mark wants to know Deontay Johnson or Myles Gaskin. No-brainer for me. I'm going with Deontay Johnson. Give me all the target volume. I know the drops have been an issue. So what? I know we got Buffalo on the other side. So what? Give me Deontay Johnson. I like Myles Gaskin. I like Myles Gaskin as a flex play, but Deontay Johnson for me gives me just the higher floor, the higher ceiling. I want both those things. Gaskin can have a good day against the Pats D. Of course he can. But I'll take Deontay Johnson. In terms of fantasy, I haven't got a little bit more comfortability factor with him. Also want to remind everybody, too, as you're seeing on the side of the screen there, My Playbook. If you're asking, what is My Playbook? My Playbook is a way to manage all of your leagues. So if you've got one league or 25 leagues, My Playbook is an incredible tool. If you head over to FantasyPros.com, you can check out My Playbook for yourself. And of course, if you were one of our subscribers there, especially the MVP level or Hall of Fame, you can use some incredible features there where you can actually set all of your lineups from all the different sites. If you're playing leagues on Yahoo, on ESPN, on CBS, you got leagues in different places, one spot. You could set all of your lineups, and then let's say you need to make some choices there, but you're out. You can flip on that autopilot switch, and if a guy is out, all of a sudden to replace him, it'll just optimize your lineups if you need to. If you can't get to make all of your choices, this is going to be the tool that's a game changer for you all season long. So make sure you head over to FantasyPros.com. Go check out My Playbook over there while you're at it, and consider a subscription because look, we got that offer still running. I think it's still running today. FantasyPros.com/offers. $10, one of our sister sites. You deposit $10. You go play a little bit on FanDuel, on DK, on any of those sister sites that we got, and you can upgrade for a $65 value there for that $10 deposit to a Hall of Fame subscription. That is incredible there. That's what you want to get. You want to get those big time subscriptions for you so you can use all the tools at Fantasy Pros. Let's continue on with some more of your questions. They're coming fast and furious here, so I'm going to try to get to as many as I can here. Let's see. Where did we leave off? Oh, I see where we left off. Jacob McKay. Half PPR. Robinson or Higgins? Just got asked this in our Discord chat over on Fantasy Pros about 100 times. I'm still going to go down with the Allen Robinson ship. I know Ramsey is great. So is Allen Robinson. I'm going to give him a shot here. Higgins, I'm a little worried here about Joe Burrow. I just want to see Joe Burrow get out there, move around, look good in the pocket, look good throwing the football. I don't know what he looks like yet because I haven't seen him. And all the reports I get are all negative. He's throwing balls around, doesn't look comfortable in the pocket. These are problems. These are issues. I want to be put in a good place here. Joe Burrow can do that in week 1, but if I'm going to take an L, I'd rather go down with the ship with Allen Robinson, who is that wide receiver 1 guy. I don't want to overthink matchups in week 1 too much because keep in mind, too, this guy's going to be coming off the field week 1. I talked about it before. Defense are not going to be in there for the entire game, most likely. You're going to see guys tap out quite a bit, tapping the top of the bald head or the helmet, and they're going to be coming out. And I'm saying that Allen Robinson can possibly take advantage of maybe a Jalen Ramsey who's not up to the game speed of week 5 or week 6 where he feels really good. It's week 1. There's opportunity here with Robinson. Let's not overthink it. Let's go that. Sweezy, Ayuk or T. Higgins. Same thing here. Different guys, closer, but this matchup against Detroit is one I got to go for. I got to go and take those Detroit Bullets when I got them, and I'm going to go take a shot against it. And Brandon Ayuk, I'm going to go with him. I love T. Higgins as a player. Long-term value, I like T. Higgins more this season. I am hopeful, but I don't want to be hopeful. I want to win this week. And I think Brandon Ayuk gives me the better chance to win this week, so that's what I'm going to do. All right, next. Ridley, hey, Joe. Hey, Ridley, how are you? Ridley says, Robbie Anderson, Sermon, or Marvin Jones, full PPR. Oh, baby, full PPR. Sermon is splitting the carries there. So for me, I'm going to put that off to the side. Marvin Jones has some other targets that are very viable around him. Going to put that to the side. I'm going to go with Robbie Anderson. Sam Darnold's comfortable with Robbie Anderson. I am comfortable going against the Jets defense, especially that secondary. And I'm going to look for Robbie Anderson to have a nice, strong, full PPR showing somewhere in that 15-plus range. I think he can get it done. Love me some Robbie Anderson. One of the better draft values that was out there for sure. Let's go to Jamison Woodruff, not Jamison Crowder, or Jameis Winston, not to be confused. Jamison Woodruff. Eckler as questionable or Deontay Johnson. Just need the points, no upside. Just need the points, you go with the running back. Eckler's a full go. That's what we're getting right now. That's what I'm seeing. So that's what I'm going to go with. Eckler's that first round talent. That's what you drafted him for. It's a tough sell here. If they say he's a full go and he's your first round guy, you got to do it. You got to do it. It's week 1. If it's wrong, it's wrong. But then you should have looked ahead a little bit in terms of schedule and looked ahead to say, is there a guy that I would never take out no matter what? And I know sometimes those guys don't make it down to you, but Eckler's supposed to be that dude, right? If you put first round draft capital into him. So that's what I would go. All right, next here. Where are we? Dominic. Full PPR, wide receiver 3. Devontae Smith, Michael Pittman, or Marquez Callaway. Ooh, this is a tricky one. I'm going to go lean with Devontae Smith here in this game against the Falcons. Falcons secondary, not good. Don't like them at all. They also struggle with guys who can catch the football over the middle of the field. Smith can do that. Pittman worries me a little bit. Callaway, once again, it's not rote. It's not something we can bank on. It's something we like the upside for. So that's a different story. You have to understand that and figure out where you're at with things. So I'm going to go with Devontae Smith here out of those 3 guys. That's where I'm going to go. Going to go with Jalen Hurts. Going to go with Devontae Smith. Going to play it up, see what happens. Go against that Atlanta Falcons D, play the total of that game. All right, let's take a quick drink of water. In this timeout, I want you to think about subscribing to Fantasy Pros on the YouTube channel so you can ask your questions. Every single Sunday we're doing this live stream. It is going to be a good time. You'll want to be a part of it. I think Pat's doing it next week, which is going to be a great time. So think about that. I'm going to give you a time. I'm going to drink this water. When I come back from drinking this water, I want you to have already subscribed to Fantasy Pros YouTube. Ready? This is your chance. Here we go. Oh, and click that notifications bell while you're at it. All right, let's go here. Let's get back to your questions. Here we go. Let's go with Ryan G. Need some upside for my RB2 and flex this week in PPR. Carson and Henderson are the running backs. And I think it's Deontay Johnson, and Cooks are the wide receivers. So need some upside for RB2 and flex this week. Give me Carson. That's the guy that I want. And I'll take for the flex, let's see. I would go with, give me Johnson and Carson. Give me Carson as the RB2. Give me Johnson as your flex guy in there for this week. And good luck to everybody out there playing. All right. Let's go with another question here. Tyrone Montero wants to know. Half PPR. Damian Harris, Cortland Sutton, or Elijah Moore for the flex. I'm going to go with Harris. Once again, give me the volume. Give me the things that I know. Touchdown equity's there. Sutton could be good. Elijah Moore Could be good. I don't like coulds. I know Harris is going to touch the football. Give me the guy, especially in half PPR, who's going to touch the football. Hope for the touchdown. Hope all is well. Next tier is Kamikaze. Wants to know, do I start Tannehill or Herbert? Tannehill. Tannehill against Arizona every day of the week. Let's go. And that's not a knock on Herbert, but Herbert's got to face a pretty good front there. This is a really, really good defensive front that gets after the quarterback, that blocks passes defended are high over there. I don't know. I mean, this is going to be a long day on the road, potentially, at the office for Herbert. And Herbert plays great last year, but that offensive line, still questionable against that defensive line. Give me Tannehill against Arizona. I don't want to overthink it. Also like the total in that game for an over as well. Let's go to Kyle next. Full PPR flex. Gaskin, Claypool, or Henderson. Full PPR. I always want to lean towards the wide receiver, but the wide receiver I'm leaning towards has a tough matchup on the road in Buffalo, and on top of that, has another couple wide receivers got to fight with. Oh, wait, and Najee Harris as well in terms of workload. I'm going to go with the simple workload here. I'm going to go with Henderson. That's where I'm going to go. Hope for the best there with the full point PPR that Henderson gets me a touchdown. That's where I'm going to play this one for better or worse. Next one, Timothy. Half PPR. Harris or Henderson for the flex spot. This is a tricky one. They are very close. In the half PPR, I think I'm going to lean a little bit with Henderson here because he feels like more of the guy. I know Sony Michel's there, but my little question here with Harris is when they get down to the goal line, do you see Ramondre Stevenson? And you might. I don't know if we get down to the goal line, we're necessarily going to see Sony Michel. I'm not sold on that yet. That could very well be the scenario. And if so, you can come back and yell at me next week. It's fine. I'll be here for an hour. Maybe. If not, you can go yell at me on stages. You can go ask me anything and yell at me. Say, Joe, you were wrong. But I think I'm going to put my best foot forward with Henderson in this spot because I do worry just a tad of the options of the Patriots down at the goal line. Whereas the options here, it's just Sony Michel or Henderson. Look, if Henderson's going to be the lead back, and they keep saying he is, they got to let him get those kind of carries at the goal line. So that's where I would go with this one. Next here, Grant. Drop McKissick for De'Ami Brown or Rondell Moore. This is an interesting one. I would drop him for Rondell Moore if I'm going to drop McKissick. Rondell Moore has a unique opportunity here, especially in full PPR, which you didn't say it was, but I'm just going to take a guess that it is. And here's my thinking with Rondell Moore. If he's working out of the slot, and let's say he gets 5 catches for 55 today, that's a decent first game for a rookie, right? Good matchup against the Tennessee Titans. That's 10 PPR points right there. That's good. I'll take that to the bank. I don't know what I'm going to get from De'Ami Brown, and I know Curtis Samuel being out is fascinating. De'Ami Brown is a big dart throw, much less floor. If you throw a touchdown in for Rondell Moore, all of a sudden you're looking at a 16-point day. So I would go with Moore there over De'Ami Brown for the big week if I had to. Nicky Shore up next. Russell Gage or Javonte Williams, half PPR flex. Man, everything in my being wants to say Javonte Williams, but Javonte Williams also is splitting carries with Melvin Gordon here. Here's how I play this one. If I'm looking for just a safety, I think I just kind of go safe with Javonte Williams and I play that. If I need a little bit more upside, I think the upside's with Russell Gage. Also, the downside is too. So once again, this is a scenario. If I don't like the matchup, if I'm already behind maybe on projections, if I'm already behind because Thursday Night Football happened and that person had Dak or one of those big guys that went off, then I'm in a spot where I'm considering Gage because I think Gage has a little bit more of that upside. He could have a big day and a touchdown, okay? Javonte Williams, I think, is safer. I think he is going to touch the football a fair amount. I would like him for at least 15 carries or somewhere in there. Maybe he gets to 20 touches. I don't know, but probably more like 15 is reasonable. But he has shown you so far, even with that, he can be very good. I want the points. I'll take the points. Russell Gage, I think, is a decent play, a decent option. But I think Russell Gage is a little bit more of a desperate play. That's how I feel this week. That's how I would lay it out. Alan C. Flex, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, or I think it's Brandon Cooks here, you're telling. Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Cooks? It's Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Next question. Yeah, I can't even overthink that. No. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Let's go. Next, Lance West, full PPR. Mike Davis or Allen Robinson in the flex position. Oh, my goodness gracious. Here we go. This is a tough one. Once again, I look at the rest of my lineup. If I like my lineup and I think I'm going to win, I start Allen Robinson because that's my dude. If I'm really worried about that and it's going to be a thin margin of error, very thin, razor thin, Mike Davis. Mike Davis would be the guy I go there. Mike Davis is the back there. I know they brought in Wayne Gallman, but Mike Davis should be the guy. It is a tougher matchup there against the Eagles defensively in that front. One would think they were good last year, but that doesn't always hold year over year. So give me Mike Davis if I need extra points. If I feel good about my lineup, go with your stud guy, the talent, and the talent is Allen Robinson. The boss, 1977, Baker Mayfield or Trevor Lawrence. Look, I like Baker Mayfield, but I like Trevor Lawrence more this week. Sorry about that. Trevor Lawrence against Houston, I will take my lumps there. Trevor Lawrence also has the upside to run the football too. There's a good chance he can get 30, maybe even push 40 rushing yards in this game, getting out of the pocket. And he's going to need to get out of the pocket. And I'll tell you why. That offensive line has not looked great. Okay? So there's a good chance he's going to get flushed from the pocket. That's good news for your fantasy owners. So to me, I would look for Lawrence over Baker Mayfield in this matchup. Mayfield on the road as well, but against the Chiefs, I don't know. Like I said, I think Lawrence is the guy that I go with here. Let's go for another one. Let's go with Ethan Lewis. Flex question. Robbie Anderson, Cooks, or Laviska Shenault. I'm going to still go with Robbie Anderson. As much as I love Shenault, I think Anderson gives you the best combination of floor and upside with Sam Darnold in this matchup against the Jets. Normally, I don't go crazy for these narrative games. Sometimes the narrative game gets overrated a little bit. But I think what I want to do instead is take the guy that I think in this circumstance does kind of want to go with the quarterback, Sam Darnold, and kind of show the Jets, hey, this is what could have been if you maybe had a better set of circumstances and decisions around coaching decisions and personnel. But alas, it was not meant to be for the Jets. So give me Robbie Anderson. Best combination of floor, best combination with upside. Shenault has got upside. Brandon Cooks, look, man, this is going to be a rough year for the Texans. I mean, the Texans could come out at home and surprise us all. It's week one. Wacky things happen. But just because wacky things happen doesn't mean I have to put my fantasy investments there in them actually happening. Give me Robbie Anderson. All right. Did I mention give me Robbie Anderson? Because if not, Robbie Anderson. Okay. Next one here. A Parks. Full PPR. Flex spot. Terrace Marshall against the Jets or Sterling Shepard versus the Broncos and Evan Ingram ruled out. I will say this. Oh, this just popped in too. By the way, Zach Moss looks like he is going to be inactive today. So keep that in mind for those who have Devin Singletary shares. At least more opportunity for him if you're desperate for some running back play. Let's see. Terrace Marshall against the Jets or Sterling Shepard against the Broncos. I'm going to go with Sterling Shepard here. Galladay banged up. No Evan Ingram. Darius Slayton injury. Give me Sterling Shepard. Let's see what he can do. He's healthy right now. He has his injury issues too, but give me Shepard. I think I play the volume there. I like the upside of Marshall. It's fun. The gambler mentality would say Marshall. I'm going to go a little safe here. It's week one. Let's go with Shepard. Next year, Matthew Bernard. Oh, look, it's a question about Allen Robinson. Who would have thought? Not me. It's Allen Robinson time all day today. Brandon Ayuk or Allen Robinson, full PPR. This is a tricky one. I'm going to say the same thing I said. Broken record Joey P for you. If you have a good lineup, you like the lineup, you think you're going to win this week, you play your stud Allen Robinson. If you really think you need the points, if it's going to be close and you want to take a shot here to get that W in week one, I like the matchup enough with Ayuk that I would consider it and do it. If you're already playing from behind, you got nothing to lose, play Ayuk because the upside's there against Detroit for him to have a huge game. I think a good game is possible for Robinson. A huge game is a tough sell. Huge game is not a tough sell for Brandon Ayuk. That's how you make that sort of choice there for yourself. All right, next one here. Let's go to Webb Fiji. Claypool or Darrell Henderson, full PPR. I'm going to still go with the running back here. I want the touches. That's what I want to do. Seems like we're talking about the same guys today. Everyone's worried about Robinson. People want to know about Claypool. This is what we do. We kind of do the start sit here. It's the same kind of guys we're talking about. Darrell Henderson. Let's play Henderson in the volume. Let's play the touches. Let's see if it all works out for us in week one. Ryan Neal, half PPR. Ertz or Devontae Parker in the flex. Oh, there we go. Now we're cooking. This has got to be a 14-team league from the sound of this question. Or things have gone horribly wrong for you, Ryan. Either way, I'm hopeful for you. I'm going to start. Get ready for this. Zach Ertz. Yeah. I don't have any faith in Devontae Parker. I'm going to go ahead with Ertz. Play it up. See how it goes. This just in too. Looks like Trey Sermon is also inactive for today. So that is a huge bit of news there. So if you got those Mostert shares, fire them up. If you have Sermon active in leagues, make that change immediately. Again, these things just breaking here, just coming across here. So 2 big pieces of news: Zach Moss inactive, Trey Sermon inactive. We'll keep you up to date with all those changes. And if you've got questions about those players and what's going on and you got to replace one of them, this is where you sign up for the YouTube channel, Fantasy Pros. FantasyPros.com is where you want to go, but YouTube.com/FantasyPros is where we're at to get your questions in. To subscribe is how you get to ask a question, and click that notifications button for all the great content that we're doing here all season long here at Fantasy Pros. Big one there. Lots of stuff happening here. So Moss and Sermon inactive. Big moments here. Adjust your rankings accordingly. All right, let's move on to the next one here. Mario Chavez, start Green Bay or the Panthers defense? I'm going to start the Green Bay defense today. I know that Winston, has the opportunity to put some points on the board, but with all those wide receivers out with a neutral site here, I'm going to go with the Green Bay defense because I can. And I'm going to play that they're going to get reckless with the football later on because they have to, because they're playing from behind. Looks like Lattimore might not play in this game from last I saw, but now I'm talking to you, so I'm not 100%. Go follow up on that. But at the same time, that means a field day potentially for Devontae Adams. So that's where I'd be looking right now. Let's move on to the next question. Josh wants to know, Josh, where'd your question go? I lost you, Josh. Okay, here we go. Josh, Mostert or Ayuk in flex? Well, now that Mostert's got the backfield all to himself, Mostert. Let's go against Detroit. Even though it's a full point PPR, that's the way I would go. Claypool or Henderson at flex for Matthew. A lot of these Claypool or Henderson questions. I'm going to continue to go with Henderson there. That's where I'm going. Jason, PPR. Josh Jacobs, Claypool, or Sutton. Need one of them. In PPR, this is still a tough one here. They are very close. I'm going to lean towards the running back again. I know you're going to say, why would you do that in PPR? I'm just going to do it. I'm going to go and try to play for that touchdown, and Josh Jacobs gives me that chance because I need the touchdown out of Claypool, and I need it for Sutton. I might get a floor points with Jacobs even without one. I know it's a tough matchup. That's where I would want to go. Amanda wants to know, PPR flex, Kareem Hunt or Michael Pittman? This is a tricky one. Now, if we had more definitive news on Odell being out, I would go right to Hunt. But you know what? Even with him being potentially out of this game, I think we're going to go to Hunt in that same regard. I think he'll be able to catch more balls here with Odell not being 100%. So even if he plays, he's far from 100%, right? So therefore, I think I'm going to move in that other direction. Give me Hunt over Pittman. I'm just worried about Indianapolis. Maybe I won't be worried week 2, but I'm worried right now. It's week 1. I want to see stuff that I like before you just start starting guys out there. Let's go to Ruben Perez next. Darrell Henderson or Kenyon Drake, RB2 spot in week 1. Have to pick one. Wide receiver deep team. Henderson or Kenyon Drake, RB2 spot. Darrell Henderson, not sharing the carries as much as we know. Give me Darrell Henderson for better or worse. Josh wants to know, full PPR. I think it's Tyrell Williams or Swift. That is a question we have to ask ourselves. You know what? Tyrell Williams might have to get some work in today. I don't have a lot of faith in Goff. That is difficult. I'm a little worried about Swift and Williams and the game script and his health. It's a lot to be worried about. That being said, I'm going to live or die with Swift anyway. I'm going to stay consistent, stay with the running back, and hope for the best for Swift here. Swift looked really good last year in some moments, but once again, health continues to be an issue for him. But man, you're asking me to put my faith in Jared Goff. That's asking a lot. At week 1 on a Sunday morning, you're going to ask me that? Give me Swift. Give me the running back again. All right, next here, David wants to know, Golladay, Pittman Jr., or Juju as a wide receiver 3, full PPR. Give me Juju. I feel best about the quarterback situation. The quarterback matters. Sure, there's other wide receivers there. Give me the guy that you know what the quarterback is. You know the floor is okay. Maybe the upside's limited. Give me boring Juju. That's the way I want to go. Next here is Nassim. Golladay or Trey Sermon? Well, that got done for us. It's Kenny Golladay now because Trey Sermon ain't playing. Anthony Schaefer, Fant or Higbee, full PPR. Fant or Higbee? Give me Tyler Higbee in this one, full PPR. Fant was dealing with the injury anyway. I know the Giants aren't good against tight end, but let's see if Higbee can be a thing with Stafford. Fingers crossed, boys and girls. All right, next here. Just Her Reality. Hey, Joe. Hey, Just Her Reality. How are you? I like when people say hi, how are you? It's nice. It's pleasant. Checking up on me all by myself. I get lonely here all by myself on this live stream. PPR flex, T. Higgins, Callaway, Edmonds. I'm going to play Marquez Callaway for better or worse this week over Higgins. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I think they're going to need Callaway to step up. If they move Callaway around the field too, it's less of an issue with Alexander. I think they're going to have to. Traquan injury didn't make me feel better about this. Made me feel worse. But I'm still going to go with Callaway over Higgins just this week because I know the healthy quarterback Winston is. I know he can throw the football. Joe Burrow, I just want to see it. And then I'll feel warm and fuzzy. I'll feel much better about it. And then I can go to bed and I'll wake up. And in week 2, I'll have a different opinion about Higgins and Joe Burrow. But I just want to see it first. All right, next here. Herbert or Hurts from Mongrels. This is an interesting one here. I know Herbert had a great season last year, but I want to play Hurts against the Falcons. Sorry, Justin Herbert. It's just a matchup call for me. I'll take my lumps if it sucks. It's fine. Give me Jalen Hurts here in this one against that terrible Atlanta defense. Kyle wants to know, Austin Eckler or Raheem Mostert, full PPR. Why not both? What's going on? I think I still got to start Eckler. As good as Mostert could be against Detroit, and now he's got the backfield to himself. How do I take out Austin Eckler? How do I do it? I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. You're going to live and die here, but if you can, find a way to get both these guys in, especially now that Sermon is out. We got more clarity. That's much better. Bjorn wants to know, Waddle or Singletary, half PPR. Still Waddle for me, even if Singletary has a backfield to himself. I've seen enough Devin Singletary to make me question everything about Devin Singletary, so give me Jalen Waddle. No Gilmore. Also got a good rapport there with Tua. Separation. Volume. Slot. Lots of good things with Waddle. Let's go. Dan, Jerry Jeudy or Corey Davis in PPR. Oh, this is a tough one. I'm going to lead with the talent of Jerry Jeudy here and the upside of Jerry Jeudy. This is a tough one. This is very close. Judy's how I'm going against the Giants. Give me Jerry Jeudy. I'm not even going to overthink it. It's the gut. It's the talent. Give me Jerry Jeudy. Fingers crossed. All right, next. Jake S. PPR. Sit 1. Boyd, Debo, Jacobs. I'm going to play Debo. I'm going to play Jacobs. I'm going to sit Boyd. Boyd, I think, is limited in terms of the upside he brings you. Jacobs is going to touch the football more. And Debo now might even get more work in those clever ways they like to use Debo Samuel with Trey Sermon being out. So there you go. There's some logic for you on a Sunday morning. Melvin Gordon, Raheem Mostert, or Cooper Kupp for the flex. Give me Cooper Kupp for the flex. If it's a PPR, give me Cooper Kupp. If it's standard, give me Raheem Mostert. Don't know if this is the same league. If it's half, oh, it is. It is the same league. Okay, half. I'm going to go here with, I'm still going to go with Cooper Kupp for the half. I think he brings touchdowns and a floor today. I want both of those things. David Brown, pick up Randall Cobb or Marvin Jones. Marvin Jones, don't overthink this. Next, Marcus wants to know, David Montgomery or Jerry Jeudy, PPR flex. If you need the upside in your lineup today, it's Jerry Jeudy. If you just want a good floor, David Montgomery, because why? The running backs, are going to touch the football. That's what you need. All right. Maxime wants to know, Swift or Marvin Jones? Give me Marvin Jones today. I want to play that Houston. I want to go at them. Odell or Corey Davis? Corey Davis. Odell's not healthy. Don't overthink this. Full PPR. Do I play Barkley? This is from Canadian Crab. Do I play Barkley or do I start Henderson, Sutton, or Brandon Cooks? This is a tough one for me. Once again, here we go. You look at the lineup. If you're going to win, if you're going to crush another team, if that other team had Ronald Jones started and you like your chances, then you go ahead and you start Saquon Barkley. If it's close and you're worried, you start Henderson just this week until Barkley gets all the leash taken off and he goes and he runs wild. Now, there's a good chance Barkley could still be really good with the limited touches. There's a good chance he could fall into the end zone twice with the touches he gets. But again, it's a chance. Henderson's going to have it, theoretically. I'm going to go ahead and start Henderson instead. All right, boss of the boss, OG, Hunt, LaVisca, or Devontae Smith, half-point PPR. Give me LaVisca. He's got the best combination of matchup, touchdown equity, touchdown upside, floor, like it all. I like Smith too, but I think LaVisca gives you that best opportunity for all of the above in the half. CJ wants to know, PPR, Gaskin or Corey Davis? I'm going to go ahead with Corey Davis in this one. I like what I've seen with him and Wilson so far in the PPR. Gaskin, look, I think we're back into a good spot with Gaskin. There's still a little bit of that unknown. Corey Davis seems like he's the favorite son of Zach Wilson. Favorite son's getting the targets in that format in the PPR. Give me the targets. Give me that double-digit floor that I think Davis brings. Gaskin, to get to double digits, is going to have to get you 60 yards and a touchdown or 75, 80 yards, right? I don't know if that's in store necessarily for him in this game with the way they might use Salvin Ahmed, with the way you might see Malcolm Brown from time to time. Gets ugly. Give me the other guy instead, Corey Davis. Sir Blue, please help. Sure, Sir Blue, I will. Please help. Superflex, Sam Darnold or Mostert. Always start the quarterback in Superflex. Always start the quarterback in Superflex. Next, and you're welcome, Sir Blue. King wants to know, what's up, Joe? What's up, King? How you doing? Good morning. Standard flex spot, Mike Williams or Jonnu Smith? Standard flex spot. That is a tough one between these two guys, no doubt. Mike Williams has been a really good touchdown guy here in the past. I think I'm going to lean towards a wide receiver, Mike Williams. The indications are he's healthy enough to play, so I'm going to play Mike Williams while he's healthy. As much as I love Jonnu, and you know I'm a Jonnu guy, I don't love him like in an unhealthy way, the way Kyle Yates does, but I do love Jonnu. I will instead go with Mike Williams over Jonnu Smith this week. For better or worse, that's where I'm going, especially in standard because you were just playing for the touchdown. And I think Mike Williams might give you more opportunities than Jonnu does for that. There you go. All right, next year, especially because when the Chargers get down to the goal line area, Eckler's typically not that guy, and they don't love what they've gotten out of the other guys. You might see just throwing the ball up there to Mike Williams and a shot there, whereas the Patriots have more options. Could be Harris, could be Jonnu, could be Ramondre Stevenson, could be James White, could be Taylor. There's so many different things that they can do. That's where it gives me a pause there. Mike Nash wants to know, what's up, Mike? I know Mike. Debo, Jamar Chase, or Higbee at the flex and a half. Give me Debo now. Give me Debo. I think he's going to get involved in this offense board today with Trey Sermon out. He becomes an interesting play. Durf Fred. Joe, what's up, Durf? Just got sent a trade. Robert Woods and Darrell Henderson for Kelsey. Do I do it? No, you keep the Kelsey because Kelsey is a huge advantage. As tempting as it is. I don't know what your backup tight end situation is. Unless it's Kyle Pitts or something really good. No, you keep that Kelsey advantage. Emilio! Herbert or Stafford? I'm going to play Stafford today. You know, I know both matchups aren't perfect. Give me Stafford. At home, first shot out of the gate, time to prepare against the Chicago Bears. I worry about the Bears being able to move the chains very well today. More opportunities than for Stafford. Give me Stafford. Chris Norwood, non-PPR flex. Montgomery or DJ Moore. Non-PPR, give me the running back every time. So give me Montgomery. Plurk Queen, PPR, Cobb, Devin Singletary. Now that Zach Moss is out, give me Devin Singletary. Greg H, what's up, brother? Half PPR in a flex, Josh Jacobs or Robbie Anderson. Give me Robbie Anderson. A little bit more potential boom and floor in that one for me. I love Robbie Anderson. Give me all the Robbie Anderson today. I want Sam Darnold so bad to play well today against the Jets. I don't know. I like a feel-good story. I'm a sucker for a good story. I like a good rom-com. And it's been nothing but tragedy for Sam Darnold so far in his early NFL career. Now you give him Christian McCaffrey, right? He throws the ball to Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey runs for 50 yards and a touchdown. Guess what? Those points go to Sam Darnold too. So this is a new world for Sam Darnold in terms of potential fantasy outcomes. We have to pay attention to this, especially in a good matchup at home against the Jets. That's what we're going to do. All right. Next here, Jacob wants to know, just drop Rondell Moore for Marquez Callaway in half PPR. Steal or dumb move? No, I don't think it's dumb. I think you play... Look, Marquez Callaway, best case scenario, is an alpha in this offense for the first 6 weeks. Rondell Moore, best case scenario, I think is a contributor. So, yeah, you're playing that situation. If you didn't have to play Rondell Moore today, then I think you're okay. So I think that's what we're doing here. Let's see a little update from my good friend here. Let's see. We're going to scroll through while you're looking, or I should say while I'm looking for more questions to answer of yours. If you want to get your questions in the next 10 minutes, subscribe to our YouTube page. And don't forget, don't only just subscribe, but click that notifications button over here on Fantasy Pros and check out my playbook. Oh, look, there it is. I said it. It shows up. Synchronicity. That's what we're looking for here, Fantasy Pros. That's what we deliver to you. So you've got the My Playbook. What is My Playbook? It's a way to manage all your leagues in one page. And when you upgrade and you get that better opportunity here when you become a Hall of Fame or MVP subscriber, go to fantasypros.com/offers for $10. You can do that by going play some daily fantasy on FanDuel or DraftKings or any one of those partners. fantasypros.com/offers. You put $10 in, you get an MVP subscription. That's 6 free months of MVP. You know what that gets you? It gets you my playbook at the high levels that you can do all the fun stuff, including setting all your lineups from that one page, seeing all the projections, all the optimizations, and don't forget about autopilot, which can make decisions for you when you're not available to do so. That's beautiful. Like right now, you set your lineup, you're like, I'm going to go out and for a bike ride with the kids. You come back, Trey Sermon all of a sudden is out. What? Trey Sermon's out. Autopilot took care of that for you already. Now you can just go and enjoy lunch with the kids and then watch the game. See what we do for you? You can only get that at Fantasy Pros in my playbook, so go get it today. All right, a couple more of these, and then we're going to call it a football Sunday. Deontay Johnson or Julio Jones from James. I'm going Julio in this one against Arizona. I love Deontay Johnson, but I love the matchup of Julio more. This is going to be a fun game to watch. I think this is a big over, too. Even in the half, that's where I'm going to go. And in the half, too, even more so, because I think Julio might bring a little bit more touchdown upside than Deontay Johnson. All right, next year. Ozzy, Kareem Hunt, or Melvin Gordon at the flex. In PPR, I'm going to go with Kareem Hunt. In the half, I'll lean towards Melvin Gordon. All right, there you go. Next, Jalen Hurts or Trevor Lawrence. That's from Jeremy. These guys are really close to me here. I'm going to go with Hurts by a hair, and it is close. And if something I know about is going by things by a hair, as you can see. A little joke on myself. I'm going to go with Hurts there against Atlanta just because he's played a little bit more in the NFL. I mean, that seems like a dumb reason, but that's what I'm going to do. They're both on the road. They're both young quarterbacks. Hurts has a little bit more NFL experience. I know the matchup is tempting, but the matchup for Hurts is pretty good too. Give me Hurts. Next, Brian, Shenault or OBJ? Shenault, easy. OBJ is not healthy. Next, Walter, PPR, flex position. David Montgomery, Brandon Ayuk, or David... no, I'm sorry. You look like, I think Darrell Henderson is what you meant to say here. So David Montgomery, Ayuk for the flex, or Henderson. I'm going to go with Ayuk in PPR. I think he's the best of all the worlds, best possible outcome. Paul P, PPR, Damian Harris or David Montgomery. I'm leaning towards Damian Harris. You know what? I think I am too. It's a tough matchup for tonight for Montgomery, and I really like Montgomery. I don't think you're going to go wrong. I think at the end of the day, they both kind of end up in the same fashion here. Also, I want to remind everybody that Yates will be live for another full hour coming up right after this stream. So if you didn't get your question answered by me, you got Kyle Yates to pick up the slack here. So you should be automatically redirected. And if for some reason you're not on the YouTube page redirected, just refresh, go back to the same link for the live stream, and there'll be Kyle Yates, who is far younger, far better looking than me. But I don't know. I'm definitely the more grizzled veteran. I think that's all I got going for me right now. That's all I got. Give me that, Yates. I need something, please. But stick around here because this is not the only hour live stream. Again, a whole other hour taking you right up to game time. Yates will answer your questions, but don't forget, the only way you can get your question answered here is to join our YouTube channel, youtube.com/fantasypros. Join it, subscribe, ask a question, have some fun, get some help, have someone to blame when things go wrong. See what I did there? You can come back next week and say, I can't believe you told me that, Joe. What kind of moron are you? Now answer this question. That's what we need. All right, more questions here before we call it a day. Max wants to know, full PPR. Have to play 2. Corey Davis, Tyson Williams, Henderson, DeAndre Swift. I would play Corey Davis in the PPR. Yeah. Oh, this is such a tough one here with these 3 running backs. I'm probably just going to keep going with DeAndre Swift, who had the highest draft capital. I know it's going to sound crazy. I think I'm going to go that route. I mean, why do we draft these guys if we're not going to play them or play them over guys? That's what I'm going to try to do. Next here, Jordan, T. Higgins, or Debo. After the Sermon update, yeah, I think I would reconsider that too. I would say Debo Samuel now. So, yeah, let's go. Garrett Goddard, Tyson Williams, or Henderson, full PPR. I'm going to go with Henderson because I want to see first. I want to see what Tyson Williams is. Now, here's the thing. Henderson probably has a certain cap on what he's going to do today, theoretically. Tyson doesn't. So if you're already getting your butt kicked and you want to have some fun and you want to play for a little bit more upside, I can understand starting Tyson. But 9 times out of 10, I'm going to start Henderson instead, see what he is, see how it goes. Mount Hermit. Hey, Joe. Hey, Mount Hermit. What's happening? Half PPR, Claypool or Gordon at the flex. I don't love Gordon splitting. I really don't. Once again, if you just need safe points, Gordon's going to touch the football for sure. If you need upside in your lineup, Claypool. Look at your lineup, see which one better suits you. Claypool could have a huge day. He could catch 2 touchdowns, right? He could also do nothing. That's something you have to understand. Can I take a 0? I don't think Gordon's going to give you a 0. At worst, he'll give you what, like 8, 9 points? That's better than 4, right? You just got to keep that in mind. Sometimes that happens with certain guys. So that's what I'd be looking at there. Make your decision based on that logic. Next here, bench stash. Sony Michel, Latavius Murray. This is a tricky one. Latavius has more opportunity to take over the job, I think. So give me Latavius Murray right now. Next, Jeff Van Meter, DJ Moore, Darrell Henderson, or Corey Davis, full PPR. DJ Moore. Definitely DJ Moore. Even though he's fighting for targets, DJ Moore is an extraordinary talent. He's got the better quarterback, in my opinion, right now. We think. We'll see what happens here. Next here, Tyler. Hey, Joe, longtime listener. I appreciate you, Tyler. Tyler says, OBJ versus Devontae Smith versus Tyson Williams, half PPR. Give me Devontae Smith, best of all the worlds. Gives you some volume, gives you touchdown upside, gives you floor, gives you good matchup. Give me give me Devontae Smith. Almost screwed up there. I caught myself. All right. Give me Smith there. Next, Jordan Hodge, Jalen Waddle, or Tyson. You made one person here. Tyson Smith is not a person. You got to help me out here, Jordan. I can only assume you mean Tyson Williams or Devontae Smith. Either way, I'm starting Jalen Waddle. I wipe my hands of it. Next, Russell Wilson or Ryan Tannehill. Wilson on the road against Indianapolis or Ryan Tannehill at home against Arizona. Ryan Tannehill at home against Arizona. That's how I want to go. Let's go. Give me all the Tannehill today. Josh Jacobs or Jarvis Landry. Give me Josh Jacobs. I want the touches. That's what we want. We want to play the volume, Eric. I know Landry's okay, but you know what? Josh Jacobs at least has some more touchdown equity. It could be Landry, and I understand with OBJ being out, maybe you lean on Landry a little bit more. That's fair. Once again, we'll come down to this. When we're looking at the talent, looking at the matchups, look at your lineup, Eric. If you just need points, Josh Jacobs, points. If you need upside, I think Jacobs is capped. That's when I would pivot to the Landry start. Next, Daniel. With a healthy scratch, is Zach Moss droppable? Depends on what's out there and what you're dropping him for. That's all I can say about that. In a vacuum, I don't know. Is he droppable? Yeah, sure. In a 10-team league, yeah, he's droppable. If something better up, if you're going to pick up Marquez Callaway today, yeah. You can pick up Tyson Williams today? Yeah, sure. Why not? It's 1 week. Let's not panic. We got 17 more of these to go. It's a long time. Let's hang in there. All right. Couple more to do here. Shannon wants to know, PPR, Jonnu or Goddard? Well, Goddard, I don't know if Goddard is the guy. Is Zach Ertz the guy? Are they both the guy? I don't know. Jonnu, I feel better about. Give me Jonnu. Chris, full PPR. Kupp, Henderson, or Ayuk at the flex. Give me Cooper Kupp. Good quarterback, full PPR. As much as I like Ayuk, Kupp, I think still a cut above, even though the matchup. Forsman, Myles Gaskin, or Courtland Sutton. I'm going to go with Courtland Sutton here in the half PPR. Give you a little bit more potential boom. If you, once again, need the safety of the carries, take the safety of the points in Gaskin. But I think Courtland Sutton has the more upside in this one because I think he brings you a little bit more potential points in the half PPR. Plus, on top of that, maybe a little bit of touchdown equity. It's a good thing. Last one here, Adam, full PPR, Robbie Anderson, Deontay Johnson, Deebo Samuel, Corey Davis. I have to pick 2. Well, you know I'm going to pick Robbie Anderson. After that, Deebo Samuel is very tempting. Corey Davis, very tempting. I'm going to go with Deontay Johnson here. I'm going to play the volume. I'm going to give myself more opportunity to score fantasy points. That's what I want to do. This has been so much fun. It's not over yet. The fun continues for a whole other hour. I'm going to go try to take a nap or something before the games start. But we got you covered here on YouTube. You should be redirected as soon as I'm done here to another live stream for another hour of Kyle Yates taking your questions, talking about Jonnu Smith most likely. I'm sure he's going to be talking a lot about Michael Pittman. Probably give you some different answers or a different point of view. So stick around for that. Kyle Yates, one of the best in the business. If you're not redirected, all you got to do is refresh, go back to the YouTube page, go click the live stream. Bada boom, bada bing. You get right back in there. All is right with the world. But don't forget, the only way you can ask a question in this chat with us here, whether it's me, whether it's Yates, whether it's anybody, is to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Fantasy Pros, youtube.com/FantasyPros. Subscribe. Click the bell for notifications. You are done. And check out my playbook, which is going to help you manage all of your teams all season long. We'll be back tomorrow with the podcast to recap all the stuff we saw, talk about the waiver wire. It's going to be unbelievable. It's going to be a fabulous show, and I know you're going to be a part of it. Have a great Sunday, everybody. Football is here. This is beautiful. Week 1, good things are happening, and we're just getting started here on Fantasy Pros. So for me, Joey P, that'll do it for me, but that does not do it for us here at Fantasy Pros. More great content coming right at you right after this. Stick around. We'll be right back.
j'ai